Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be discussing the SB Jordan 4 Navy, specifically whether you should sell or hold the SB Jordan 4 Navy and why that is, and if you should even consider investing in pairs in the secondary market, because some people are claiming this to be one of the greatest holds ever. Well, I have good news and bad news for you guys. These shock dropped 2 days ago on April 15th via a very unique type of Nike sneakers scratcher. You needed a secret invitation link to even access the scratcher from an external link, which could have been found on an Instagram influencer's story. As always, I knew ahead of time that this is what they were gonna do. They've been planning something like this since the Union drop. I've been telling you guys about this. And it's not because I predict anything, I'm not mystic. It's because I pay people for accurate early information who actually work there, and that's why my group Endurance always has the correct early info for these things. Make sure you join before the next one, links in the description. Anyway, in order to determine if the SB Jordan 4 Navy is going to be a fruitful hold, we're going to go over the current average price since they've already dropped, and I'm making this video after the fact, unlike usual where I give my prediction, whether they're expected to increase post-drop or even continue to decrease, along with how much specifically over specific periods of time, and finally, what type of margin are we looking at for these in terms of holding them. Not the retail to resell initial margin, but rather the hold margin over X period of time. Basically, even if they do go up, are they going to be worth your time? Currently, sizes 8 to 12 in men's are at an average of $257, a far lower amount than what many people were expecting, considering the performance of the prior pine green SB Jordan 4, which now sits in the 300 to 400 range. Well, I'll explain precisely why. It's not because people prefer green over navy. In fact, I'd argue that demand is actually much higher on this navy colorway in comparison to the pine green. The real difference is the stock. By comparison, the navy SB Jordan 4 has very large stock. Not including pairs Skate Shop received, just on Nike Sneakers US alone, there was about 60,000 pairs on this shock drop alone. Meanwhile, other countries also had high stock, with around 25,000 for Korea and many other regions in the range of 10 to 30,000 pairs. This is getting close to the same range as what we see for many general release Jordans. The pine greens on average had less than a third of that stock on Nike, and Skate Shops of course would be proportional. Remember guys, it's not just about demand, it's supply and demand. These actually do have more demand. The current sale volume is some of the highest post-drop sale volume we've seen in a while, but it's just really high amount of stock that's doing this. Now let's discuss what price will look like once shipments go out in the 2 to 3 week range. During this period, usually the vast majority of pairs would be going in circulation. Normally, we see a 10% decrease in value on general releases, but since I'm making this video 2 days after the Nike sneakers drop and other retailers dropped a very long time ago, I'd only expect about 5% more down from here. If that is the case, prices should settle around $244 on average, so large sizes should still be up close to $300, allowing for easy profit at their lowest point. Now that the average price range at those points in time are evident though, let's discuss whether they're expected to increase or continue decreasing from this trough. When looking at the pine green SB Jordan 4, it's really like comparing apples and oranges. Honestly, I wouldn't say that these are comparable because of the massive stock difference. One thing worth noting is that apparently this will be the last SB Jordan collab we will be seeing for a very long time, according to rumors. If that's true, that will of course help the value for these. With stock this high, however, it's likely going to take a very long time before we start seeing that. Jordan 4s in general have not been appreciating the same way they did years ago. Pairs like the Jordan 4 Military Blue and Bread have actually depreciated over the year. Overall, I wouldn't be surprised if these plateau for the better half of a year before we start seeing any appreciation. I know the value seems low already on these, and it's because you're comparing them to the pine greens, but again, it's apples and oranges due to the stock difference. After this period though, I do eventually see these appreciating. These will be seen as an important Jordan for collecting and are very well liked in general. Most importantly though, just look at the sale volume. It's absolutely incredible on these. Evidently, a lot of people really want this shoe. Finally, regarding the hold margin on these, even if they do go up, are they going to be worth your time or not? If these don't move for half of the year, obviously that is not going to lead to any ROI, so that's not good. After 6 to 8 months though, with sale volume this high, I can see these beginning to appreciate and potentially get to a $300 average within 2 years. And that would hypothetically lead to about a 20% ROI, which is decent, but it's nothing incredible. I am optimistic about the future for this important Jordan 4. The demand is amazing. I just think it's going to take longer than what people are expecting, despite these seemingly low prices. Hence, I'd rate these an overall just slightly above average hold at 6 out of 10. I know prices seem low when compared to the Pine Green, but I still think there are going to be better opportunities. Remember, it's supply and demand. Nonetheless, it's still far from a bad hold, just not as good as some people are hyping them up to be, because they're just comparing these to the Pine Greens, which is again like apples and oranges. I would not recommend investing in additional pairs in the secondary market. I think there's better opportunities for your capital. Remember, it's not about how great or hyped the sneaker is, it's about what opportunity there is for a good ROI. Remember, for early info on the next shock drop that's like this, join Endurance with the link in the description below. Other than that, have a great rest of your day.